So tonight we're going to install a Spectre Cold Air Intake on my 14 Pro 4X. This is the filter. I've got all the parts laid out here. Heat shield, it came with the weather stripping on the top already, and I've added weather stripping around the bottom. We're going to see how that works. It might not be thick enough, but this is the one that I was able to get. And I've gone ahead and put the velocity stack in the heat shield and tighten this one clamp here. I've got all the parts prepped, and we'll go to the front and do the disassembly. Okay, to remove your stock, we're going to start by disconnecting the MAF sensor and then undoing the clip here. See that there? And we've loosened the two clamps for the breather hoses, and we'll pull those off. And the kit comes with two new hoses, so we're actually going to go back here and remove these completely. On the other side as well. And I've got these two clamps loosened. Pull that off. You can pull this off in one piece. Why don't we just do that? Here's our filter. And we've got one 10mm bolt here. And then you can basically pull. You can see down here, there are two bolts here, and these had the rubber grommets sitting on them. These rubber grommets here in the bottom of the airbox. So that if you're putting this back in, you leave these bolts or put them back in and press down from the top. But for this intake, we're going to take these bolts right out, and we'll come back with the parts ready to go. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention was on four-wheel drive, you do have this stiff breather hose on the airbox. Mine was already disconnected, but you have to disconnect that. And the Spectre heat shield does have a spot for this. Some other air intakes don't. You just have to zip tie it, but we can attach it. And the two bolts that the rubber grommets were sitting on, you have to remove this one. It's 10mm, so remove that one. And then way down here, there's another small 10mm bolt as well that we've removed. And then we'll start putting the new stuff back in. Okay. So I'm starting with the new hoses. I've got this one started on here. I'll slip it on. And bring it up here. And I've got the original clamp on the end there ready to go. And we'll grab the other one. And this one's going to be a little bit easier, but still a little bit of a pain. Just slide it on there. And that goes right about here. Let's put it under this one. So this is my catch can hose. This is custom setup here. So I've got the heat shield placed in here, and we're going to do up our 3 bolts. Take your larger one, which is sorry, I got the wrong one, a 14 with the washer. So go in this location. And the 10 here. It's hard to see from here. Okay, and the last one They're hard to reach. Okay, the mass airflow sensor is held on by 2 Phillips screws. So there's a little gasket on here that you need to leave on, and also part of the air intake kit, the new kit, is this sleeve. And this sleeve goes where the mass airflow sensor goes. And make sure you've got it in the right direction. The opening is going towards the incoming air. I'm going to use the new screws, but I'm going to use the old washers. Actually, let's see if the old screws fit first. We've got washers and lock nuts on them. I'm just going to leave them on. Okay, so we've got the boot on here. I'm going to take our elbow piece, get that started in there, and then there's the coupler that has a slightly smaller diameter on one side that's going to be going on the throttle body, and then take another coupler and get it on here. And take your diff breather hose. That's going to the heat shield. Like that. There's no space for this, it's just going to hang. It'll go into the tube. And your tube. Something like that, and then I'll grab my nut driver and start tightening everything up. So a tip when you're putting it all together, have all your clamps accessible with the bolts on the top so we can go through and tighten them up. So we've got everything lined up here, and we have to put on our breather hoses. Just needs to slide back a little bit more. This one. You can reconnect your MAF. Take your driver and tighten all your clamps.
I tried that to get on this one.
Okay, one last step. Take it for a drive.